A couple of years ago, I had a friend that I met at work, and he was one of those cool guys that knew how to light up a room with uncontrollable laughter. He would always have his moments to shine and make the soul-sucking job actually a bit fun, and practically everybody loved to have him around. Not only that, he was a hard-working employee who loved doing his job, unlike me, who didn't care about anything more than getting the work done. One day when I was working, my supervisor and another coworker, both females, had an argument with him, and they had a temporary falling out. When he left the premises, they couldn't wait to start bad-mouthing him behind his back, and the gossip started. I minded my own business. They were so loud that I overheard when they mentioned his crazy ex. I'm not going to lie, I became curious, so I stopped what I was doing and started to listen. And gents, this ex of his had more red flags than the Chinese Communist parade, which is no exaggeration in the slightest. Should I tell you guys what I heard? Alright, why the hell not? I'm sure this can help a brother out. So guys, buckle your seatbelts and get your popcorn ready because you're going to be shocked at how this guy's ex treated him. So his ex was the one that made him get the job in the first place, so she used to work at the office with him. When their relationship started, everything was good, as all relationships are. But when they began to work together, all hell broke loose. So this is what happens whenever they have a disagreement at home. She would carry on their private matter at work and have literal fights in the office. She would beat him in front of his coworkers and tell him how much of a little bitch he was while she had her foot in his back. And because he was a beta male, he would cry and take all the beating without laying a finger on her to defend himself. Next, she would cheat on him with multiple other men while they were still together. To add salt to the wound, whenever she had an argument with him, she would call one of her other boyfriends to pick her up from work and go to their house to get her back blown out. She didn't even do it when he was gone. She flat out jumped in another man's car and left with him right in front of the guy's face. If that isn't disrespectful, I don't know what is. To make matters worse, because he didn't have his financial situation in the best shape, he had to stay alive with her knowing she was probably coming home with another man's DNA inside her body. You would think with all of the abuse this guy was facing, he would have planned his escape strategy so that when he made enough money, he could run away from the crazy woman. Well, if you think that's the case, trust me, you're sadly mistaken. He went as far as to propose to this woman even while getting physically, verbally, and emotionally abused by this 21-year-old woman. Yep, she was 21 at the time when she was jumping off the top ropes and giving him the big boot. Now you might be wondering what happened after he proposed to her, and this is where she cemented herself as a certified demon in my book. So I heard that when he proposed, she looked at the ring and the diamond was too small, so she cussed him out and threw the ring in the sea. Shortly after that, she got fired for poorly managing the office, so I didn't get to meet her at the time. Now I know this story sounds too good to be true, but trust me, it is a true story because I got confirmation from the guy who was the victim in this scenario. I couldn't believe that a man would allow his woman to beat the crap out of him and disrespect him in front of other people while doing absolutely nothing about it. So I introduced the story to set up the show's premise, which is why you should never take back your ex. A lot of men in this world find it hard to leave their relationships, especially when the woman has betrayed them, disrespected them, or wants to end the relationship. Now, I get that whenever you invest time and energy into something, you'll naturally want it to succeed and watch it grow over time. But you have to know when to cut your losses and move on with your life, but many men just can't see it that way. Worse than that, however, are the men who take back their exes after they did them wrong and cheated on them. Your ex is an ex for a reason, so going back to someone who clearly broke your trust or you broke their trust is setting yourself up for more failure. Most men go back to their ex because of one-itis and because she was their main source of easy bedroom fun. For those who don't know what one-itis is, basically when you are only fixated or focused on one girl and don't have any other options for bedroom fun. If a man has options, then it is almost impossible for him to be fixated on one woman and be in the weaker position in the relationship. When a man has options, he doesn't need one woman to give him what he wants, so he will hold the power in the relationship dynamic more often than not. But if a man has options, why would he want to return to his ex? My advice to any relationship guys watching this right now is to have options in your relationship. That doesn't mean you're supposed to keep a side piece around and cheat, but have a woman you know is interested in you on the sidelines. Women don't cut off all the men in their lives to be with you most times because if the relationship goes south, she will need somebody to fall back on. Play the same game they play and don't eliminate your options. This doesn't even have to be another woman. It can be your buddies, hobbies, work, and so on. Just ensure she understands that she is not a priority in your life and can be replaced if she gets out of order. Let's look at some of the reasons why you shouldn't take your ex back. One of the major reasons you shouldn't take back your ex is that she was highly likely getting her insides pushed to her esophagus by multiple men after you guys broke up. If you don't want to deal with the additional baggage and the thought of what were the things that she was doing with other men, then don't take her back. Women don't sit down on their sugary nectar and try to improve themselves to be a better girlfriend for you or the other man she'll be in a relationship with. She will want to have fun, and a woman's version of fun is riding the CC. So I want you to think long and hard about taking back your ex as a viable option. The next reason you shouldn't take back your ex is that she will not change her behavior, which may have caused the breakup in the first place. What is likely to happen is that you guys will get back together, and she will change temporarily to make you think she's a changed person. But the bait and switch will happen after she feels like she has you and things return to normal. You will realize quickly that this is the same person you broke up with, and she didn't change her ways. And trust me, the BS that caused you guys to break up last time will come marching back into the relationship. If you want to deal with and manage this, then be my guest and take her back. Another reason not to take back your ex is that she will carry the baggage of her previous relationships after you guys broke up right into your life, and you'll have to deal with it. To make matters worse, she might blame you for the horrible things that happened between her and the men she chose, and she might feel the need to make you pay. That means if she was raped, in a legit abusive relationship, did drugs or alcohol, had an early termination, and became a sugar baby to get by, she might want to take out all her pain and frustration onto you, because she's not going to take accountability, and as far as she's concerned, if you didn't leave her, none of those horrible things would have happened to her. So you'll have to take the wrath she should have placed on all those men who did her wrong. I think it's pretty sick what men put up with just to bust a nut. If these negative consequences of taking back your ex didn't happen to you, then I'm sure you know someone who went through hell because they took back their ex. Let me finish the story to prove to you guys that no good can come out of taking back your ex. So a year later, the crazy girl gets rehired back into the office to resume her managerial role. So this was the first time she and I would be working together, and it didn't take long for me to realize that this woman was crazy. After about a week, full-blown arguments between her and her ex would pop up randomly, and boy was she emotional and loud. I told myself there was no way in hell that I would smash that girl. So I made sure to keep things professional into my work, and all was going well until one day, she and the guy announced that they were getting back together. I was shocked because of what I heard he had to go through, and to know that he got his freedom but chose to take her back made me lose all respect for this guy. But it wasn't my business, so I didn't say anything to him. Long story short, all the things she did that caused the breakup of their relationship in the past came right back. The only thing I couldn't verify was the physical assault. Other than that, damn near everything else repeat itself. She cheated, verbally and emotionally abused him, left him for a bigger, better deal, and yeah, it sounds to me like it was totally worth it. Based on what I've seen and experienced, I wouldn't tell a single man on planet Earth to return to their ex. The only way I would ever think about recommending it was either you guys broke up and immediately went back together without any of you having sex or an affair with someone else, and you guys both took accountability for the failure of the relationship. Other than that, I'm only recommending the free agent lifestyle, and that's it. When you guys can list a single positive that going back to your ex had on your life, then I don't want to hear the BS. You are more likely to take a big fat L if you go back to your ex than turn that into a positive, and that's the RP you'll have to swallow. If you missed your baby and you can't stop thinking about her, then you have too much free time on your hands. Find something productive to do, and eventually, after a while, you'll heal and become a better man. Tap that thumbs up button, and make sure to subscribe if you agree with this message. Comment below if you've ever taken your ex back and it ended in disaster. And guys, remember, there are 7 billion people on the planet and half are women, so why not find another one?